Hello, everybody. Happy holidays and happy new year. 2024 has been an interesting year, especially for hip hop. As far as major players go, Kendrick Lamar clearly made this his year. Not only did he beat Drake in the beef, but Billboard just named him the greatest pop star of 2024. Let's clap it up for him. Kendrick Lamar really has had an amazing year, and that's why I made this video. I know a lot of you guys saw my last video, and a lot of you guys, these Kendrick Lamar fans, you were on my ass in the comments, all right? But you don't realize that I'm not doing these things to make fun of Kendrick. I'm doing these things to critique Kendrick and also to just critique hip hop culture and where we are going, to comment on these things. I really am a huge lover of Kendrick Lamar and all the music he makes. In fact, I love the fact that he was named a pop star because personally, I think pop star needs to be redefined. For too long in the culture, pop star has been used as a dig against other rappers. It's always been used as a word to bring doubt and illegitimacy to the music that they make, which is ridiculous because hip hop is the new pop and it has been for the last 20 years. You know, when people think pop star, they usually think people like Britney Spears, Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter, Christina Aguilera. Sorry, I'm old. Pop has been that, but it's also been whatever other popular music there is. Right now, hip hop is the new pop music. Before that, rock and roll was the new pop music. For every Drake, you have a Blink 182. For every Young Thug, you have a Green Day. These people are pop artists, but they're also rock stars in the same way that these rappers are rappers, but they are also pop stars. And I think the way that we use pop star or the way that we weaponize pop star to kind of bring doubt on other people's art and their music is just wrong. And now that I think that Kendrick, somebody who's kind of been this unsung hero of underground hip hop, is now fully seen as a pop artist, I think it can really help the language change a little bit. You know, I've always thought Kendrick Lamar was a pop star as well as a rapper. You can be multiple things, especially in the internet age when things spread around so quickly and songs can become so popular. All pop music really is just popular music. Sure, it does have a sound, especially when you're talking about singer songwriters and stuff like that. But at the same time, it is just what is popular. Once something reaches a level of listenership and fan base, it immediately gets moved over into pop while still simultaneously being the genre that it originally came from. That's why Jelly Roll was also on this list of greatest pop stars when he's a country artist. But because he has such mass appeal, he has now become a pop star as well. And we've seen this in the culture for a really long time, not even hip hop culture, just celebrity and internet culture as well, using certain terms to bring artists down and kind of make the masses doubt why they like them in the first place. Right now, we have pop star. When I was coming up in the 90s and 2000s, we had sellout. That was the main thing. That's what everybody was. If somebody did something you didn't like, they immediately became a sellout. And it was kind of dumb when you think about it because, sellout is subjective, exactly like pop star and exactly like industry plant. People would see somebody like Kanye West if he got like a Coca-Cola commercial and they'd be like, oh, Kanye is doing a Coke commercial, he's a sellout. But what if he actually likes Coca-Cola? If he loves Coca-Cola and they ask him to do a commercial, that's not being a sellout. Now, if he's a huge childhood obesity advocate and has always railed against soda and then he does a Coca-Cola commercial, he's now a sellout. There's a difference there. Same like with industry plant. In industry plant, what we now call an industry plant was really just called being discovered. Being an industry plant and being a Nepo baby aren't exactly the same thing. All an industry plant means is that someone has great talent and they were spotted by some executive somewhere. And that executive pulled them to the side and went, hey, I love your stuff. I notice you don't have much of a presence. Now that I've seen you, I'm going to put money into you. I'm going to invest in who you are as a person and as a musician. And I'm going to plant you within my industry and help mentor you to help you flourish as a successful artist. Being a pop star does not mean untalented. And words like pop star are, in fact, subjective. And you shouldn't really use these to affect the way that you judge an artist. You should use their art to judge the artist. And that's it. And this is just to the Kendrick fans out there. Now that Kendrick has reached this next level, give him a little grace, okay? Kendrick has reached the next level of his career. He has taken Drake's spot, at least for right now. Before this beef happened and during the beef, when people were talking about if Drake loses, Kendrick's gonna have to take over and be the new Drake, I really doubted that. I was like, yo, it doesn't matter. Kendrick doesn't want to be the new Drake. But now I'm seeing from a lot of his moves, he clearly does. And that means becoming more of a pop star. It doesn't mean he's no longer a rapper. It just means he's going to be taking a lot more chances with things. And as his real fans, if you guys are his real fans, you are going to have to give him a little bit of grace with this. From looking at a lot of the comments, I feel like a lot of these guys that are huge Kendrick stans now are Kendrick stans because of the beef. You weren't there when he was dropping cartoons and cereal. You weren't there when he was dropping Overly Dedicated. And this isn't even an age thing. Obviously, some of you guys couldn't physically be there and care about those things. But even before the battle, a lot of you guys clearly have not gone through this guy's catalog and known how great he is. So now the battle has happened and you're consuming all this expert, superior level artistry, and your brain is just so inundated with everything that he's ever done that he can do no wrong to you. And you got to realize that these people are just people, and he's going to be doing a lot of wrong now that he's in the position that he's in. And it doesn't have anything to do with who he is as an artist. It has everything to do with the spotlight being on him and him being in a new environment. Kendrick is used to being the party crasher, and now he is going to have to be the guy throwing the party. And that's a different position. Not everybody can handle that position. In fact, Kendrick's demeanor and his emotions suggest a guy who is a little bit more angry, and a guy who at times can be resentful of things and kind of, even though he realizes that he's the shit and he's the guy, he definitely has felt looked over. I've at least received that in a lot of his songs. He definitely thinks he's the guy and he needs to be the guy. And that's a great fuel for a rapper. A lot of rappers have felt that. 50 Cent felt that. Jay-Z felt that. All the greats feel that, which is why they're the greats. But a lot of rappers can be consumed with that, I want to be the greatest, and not know what they want to do once they get there. And sometimes when they get there, they tend to fail because all they planned for was the war. They didn't plan for the occupation. There's a really famous quote about Alexander the Great where it goes, and Alexander the Great wept when he had no more lands to conquer. And that's how I'm kind of looking at Kendrick right now. He doesn't really have any more lands to conquer. And I don't know, maybe this is going to be his new kingdom and it's going to be fantastic. But also, there could be a very big possibility that he kind of flounders under the pressure. I mean, we are dealing with a guy who not only is trying to make substance, underground sounding songs that do well, but he's also trying to make big mainstream hits. He is. You guys are going to have to admit that. He is. The songs with these different pop stars like Taylor Swift and like Beyonce have always helped that. But now he's getting there, and he's really trying to do it himself. And this is an interesting thing because I was thinking before the beef, about like how different of an era that actually was. And it was kind of a perfect era because if you think about it, like Kendrick and Drake gave you all that you ever needed. Before the beef, they were kind of this perfect like yin and yang of hip hop. Drake, who was more like the flashy, slick talking, money making raps, right? The bops, you had the club bops and all that type of stuff, right? And then you had the more underground role of Kendrick Lamar, which was he's selling very big, but he has a very more underground sound, a bit more of like a Nas sound. And that really helped keep everybody's appetite for hip hop, while a lot of these younger guys were doing more like kind of cookie cutter derivative stuff. But now that Kendrick is here alone, he's going to have to maintain both of those paradigms by himself. So we'll see how he does. I mean, he could be on his next big, damn level album, or next year could be when he starts entering his Uchiwali era, if you know what I'm talking about. So who knows? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. You guys were busting my balls last time and shit, so I want to hear what you guys have to say. There's some good points made there. I still disagree with a lot of it, but we'll talk about it later. I'll see you later. Peace.